Hello everyone and welcome to yet another travel vlog, and this one is gonna be a little bit different because I went with Nino and Alex, not with my usual crew, so Bela, Kaya and Leon, meaning I had to film everything for myself, which was kind of new for me because usually Bela does that for myself. Our journey started in Ljubljana where we picked up Nino. We traveled to Venice to the Marco Polo airport where we took a flight to get to Dublin where we had our layover, which was quite short, and we arrived just after working hours of the interconnecting flight door, so we had to go through security again to get to our plane to Birmingham. We arrived to Birmingham early in the evening, so we managed to get to the venue as well to do the badge pickup the day before the tournament, which we always like to do, at least myself, so there's way less stress in the next day when we actually have to start playing. The venue was really nice, it was really spacious, they had a ton of vendors on two sides actually, which is kinda nice, so there's not a lot of crowd on either of those little aisles where the vendors actually were. But since we arrived at the venue, of course, the first thing we had to do was check out some of the vendors if they had something that any of us might like, and there were a ton of stuff, some playable cards, some very collectible cards, but I didn't really spend any money. I decided to leave that activity for Sunday actually, where I got Billa some presents, but that's kind of besides the point. After checking out the venue, we stayed actually all the way till closing time. We of course had to grab a bite to eat, and Nino and I decided to go to the Japanese restaurant, which was quite near, and they had amazing food, and I will go again there next year if I go to Birmingham. But yeah, shortly after that, it was already time to get to the check-in to our little bungalows. It was really nice, it looked amazing. It was some sort of a glamping resort. I'm not sure how the guys found it, but actually it was booked for us by one of our Polish friends, which was really neat and very nice. But yeah, the bungalows were super neat. They were kind of spacious, although kind of cramped up. Of course, it was not me who filmed the inside, because I naturally forgot. It was Alex from the Variant channel, so huge shout out to him for helping me film some of the stuff and sending me some of his materials as well. But yeah, it was really comfortable. We settled in nicely, we did some playtesting, and we went to sleep because, well, the next day, of course, we had to get to the venue because it was time to start playing, and the competition was, of course, gonna be, as always, really, really tough. We arrived at the venue with some time to spare, which is always a good thing to do. And yeah, we started off the tournament. I had my trusting playmat, I had my trusting deck, the Charizard, and because it is my trusty deck, of course, the first round I got the dub. It was amazing. I won against Cerulege, which is a matchup that I've tested thoroughly, and we were over really quickly. He was a super cool dude. So I went to grab a bite to eat as well, and I've also decided to go pick up the goodies as well, so the play stamped Dawn plus the playmat. They were super cool, I like them so much. I'm gonna put those Dawn in my deck probably for sure, just like I did with the Lily's Determination. The second round I also got the win, which was super nice. I was really hyped for the tournament. My start was super sick. Unfortunately, the super sick start was cut off a bit short because the third round I got paired against Paolo Camille, who played Dragapult, which is a heavily unfavored matchup. I really did my best, unfortunately I lost. And my most important loss came in the 7th round. Up to that point, I was 4-2, still had chances for day 2. Unfortunately, I got paired into Owen Kammerman, who was actually complimented my play a lot, but unfortunately, he's a player with way more experience than me, and therefore he got the win. I decided not to be brought down by that. In the next day, so the second day of the tournament, I was playing in the cup, which was kind of a depressing experience because, well, my deck is way better in a best of 3 format than a best of 1, and my tournament run was nothing to be talked of. But in any case, regardless, I got enough prize points, which was a huge line to get to them, to get a couple of packs, which is also pretty neat. But yeah, all in all, tournament wise, I had a lot of fun. Despite my result, I met some really cool opponents both in the main event and in the cup next day. I had a lot of fun, the vibes were really cool. All in all, 10 out of 10 would do the Birmingham Regionals again, and of course, a big plus was also that I had enough space on the table, which in the previous season mostly was not the case. But yeah, after I finished with the cup, of course, I went around to look at some of the stuff that vendors had. They had some really cool stuff like this Charizard right over here. And yeah, that sort of kind of concludes the tournament side of our trip to Birmingham. So, after the tournament was finished, of course, we went back to our place, took a little break because we were kind of tired. The day was quite long, the first one, the second one, and well, the day of the arrival as well. But after we took a little rest, we grabbed a bite to eat. I didn't film that, of course, and later we played bowling. Alex and I decided to go and bowl a bit, and we were fortunate enough to be invited by the Italians, so we just joined them on their course. And here is my abysmal bowling skills. It was sort of on par with the tournament as well. And right after bowling, we checked out the arcade as well, and there were also pool tables over there, which is really cool. After that, we went to bed and it was time to go home. We had a direct flight, which was super early, so we were extremely tired. And the trip was, all in all, super great. I had a lot of fun, but I was so tired when I got back home that I just almost instantly fell asleep. That will be all from my side for this tournament. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and catch y'all the next time.